Before you move on to building the next parts of the application and learning new concepts, let's pause for a moment and try something a little different. So far, you've learned a lot, and we wrote a lot of code manually. So now I want to show you how we can develop the same thing we've done so far with AI. The goal here is demonstrate how you can take everything you've learned and then with help of AI, in this case Refine, recreate it and extend it in a matter of minutes. This lesson is all about teaching you how to prompt efficiently and how to use AI as a development coding partner as a tool that amplifies the knowledge you already have. For this, we'll be using Refine, which I found to be one of the best tools for generating dashboard-style applications with AI. It's built on top of Refine Core, the same foundation you've been using throughout this course. So everything will link down in the description. You'll get more than enough credits to build multiple projects. So let's dive right in and see just how far AI can take us. To get started, click the Refine link down in the description. It'll redirect you to this landing page telling you a bit more about exactly how Refine works, but I don't think you're here to read the docs or click on the tabs on the landing page. You're here to see just how powerful it actually is. So first, go ahead and sign up for free. You can do it using GitHub, and that'll redirect you directly to a place where you can start crafting your project. The first thing we have to do is either connect to Supabase to start creating our backend, or to connect to a REST API. Thankfully, we have already developed a huge portion of our REST API, but we haven't quite yet finished it, at least not at this point in the video. So for now, to show you how Refine works best, I'll provide you with the final hosted backend. As the goal is to learn how things are done, you will then use this backend to help Refine understand the API and generate a complete frontend with full functionality. But again, don't worry, because after this lesson, we'll continue developing this API on our own. I'll provide the full link in the video kit link down in the description. Alongside there, I'll also provide the full final code base so you can check it out completely for free. The second step that we need to do is to upload our Swagger schema. That way, Refine can learn about our API. Swagger is built on the Open API specification, which is a standard format written in YAML or JSON. Its goal is to describe your API endpoints, request parameters, request and response bodies, authentication methods, and status codes. I've already prepared a complete Swagger file for you for the final deployed website. I'll also include it in the video kit link down in the description. Once you get it from there, you can simply create a new JSON file, drag and drop it, and click continue. It's nothing big or complicated. It's just a proper documentation for the API you're about to develop in this video. Once you click continue, Refine will start creating your project, starting from analyzing your database, analyzing the relationships, table structures, planning the optimal UI, generating resources, and more. But already in a couple of seconds, we can see that Refine generated some diagrams. There's a lot of stuff here that we're gonna do later in the course. But even at this point, you should see that this is the application you're building. It has the subjects, classes, and very soon we're also gonna add users. So how exactly do we have this, and what is it that we're looking at? Well, Refine will analyze your entire backend and generate a clean diagram that shows just how your database schemas are structured and connected. As you can see, these are all the main tables used in this application, such as enrollments, classes, subjects, departments, and users. It doesn't include any authentication-related tables, but it clearly shows the core data of the app. Of course, in the video, we haven't yet added enrollments or classes, but don't worry, because we'll move on to the database design part 2 and design the database for the entire application in the next lesson. If everything is looking good, and it is on my end, you can just click Complete Setup. That'll start the project, and within less than a minute, you'll be navigated over to this view, where on the left, you'll be able to see exactly what's happening alongside with the preview. Then there's the editor, the plan, resources, and all the secrets that you have within your code. So what is really happening here? Well, Refine will help us plan and build our internal tool. It'll first check the project configuration to figure out what's happening, and it can see that we have a classroom management system already configured with the resources, authentication, and roles, which it can figure out based off of our backend API. So now it's asking us what kind of an admin panel or dashboard would we like to build. In this case, we're going to go with something else and then prompt it to achieve exactly what we did so far in the video. I mean, it took us a long time to build all of this manually, so let's see how fast we can recreate it with Refine. I'll say implement only 2 pages for now. We need a dashboard page with a welcome message and a subjects page with a list of subjects. Filter by department, search by name, and complete pagination. No auth, at least not for now. And then click send. It's gonna think for a couple of seconds and create a plan for a simple dashboard and a subjects page. And it came up with a plan. Phase 1 will deliver a simple dashboard with a welcome message and a complete subjects list with everything we wanted. We can read through the plan in more details right here, and we can even collapse specific phases. It's pretty cool that it already knows what our backend is all about, subjects, classes, and departments, so it created upcoming phases where we can dive deeper into our application. But for now, we want to stick to phase 1 to replicate everything we developed up to this point in the course. Since phase 1 is looking good to me, let's go ahead and just click execute. Refine will now start executing the tasks one by one, and it'll mark the task as checked once it finishes executing. First, it's starting with creating the dashboard page with a welcome message. And I love it when AI tools just actually tell us what they're doing while they're doing it. Otherwise, we'll just have to wait a long time. But here, you can know exactly what it's working on. And you can also check the preview live on the right side. Or if you want to take a look at what it's doing with the code, you can also do that by heading over to Pages, Dashboard, and take a look. Editor is read-only because Refine is streaming the response as we're looking at it. And to be fully honest, I am absolutely amazed by, first of all, the UI that the Refine team was able to come up with, and even more so, the UX. User experience, specifically DevX, right, of developing Refine AI. It feels like the most seamless way to develop apps using AI today. There we go. So we can see that the preview is updating live. And if you head over to the editor, you'll see that now we'll have a new subjects page. If you remember correctly, this is the same thing that we were developing within our code. But it took us a bit longer to get to that point. On the other hand, Refine is already done with the subjects page. We have a nice looking table right here, and it looks like it already has the pagination, and it handled the filtering a bit differently. And I didn't think that was going to be possible, but I actually prefer what Refine did. You can just click on the department right here and filter it with even more options by directly choosing filters right here. This is great. It's now going to proceed with adding the search to this table. As before, the app is fully functional, and here you can also change the theme of the application. Looks like search is almost done. It added the UI component, but I think it's adding the functionality as we speak. So maybe we can search for something like intro. Oh, would you look at that? It didn't mark it as finished yet, but it already works. That's great. Were you keeping track of the time? I mean, I probably should have, because learning the entire PERN Stack Crash Course and implementing everything up to the subjects page took us, around 3-4 hours? It's absolutely crazy that Refine just implemented hours of work in, less than 5 minutes? And what makes it even more impressive is that Refine didn't just generate code quickly. It generated the code that is clean and well-structured. I mean, if you open up the editor view, they're not hiding anything here, you can see that this structure looks almost identical to the code that we write. And this is something that many other AI tools still struggle to do properly. And that makes Refine stand out even more. So it has the subjects, it has the dashboard, the list, the tables, the utils are even in its own file. Everything is structured in a super clean way, exactly how I would write it myself. It's a bit weird that the search is working here, but it's still loading. So let me just reload the page. Oh, it looks like that was needed just to make sure that this checkmark gets filled in. I reported this to Refine and they're already fixing it. So by the time you're watching this video, it's possible that you won't have to reload at all. And with that in mind, the pagination has been implemented as well. This marks the phase 1, or in other words, everything that we implemented so far within our project: the classroom management portal with a clean dashboard page, a subjects list page with a table displaying the name and everything, filters for the departments, the search, and then pagination functionality. So, does this mean that your learning efforts were wasted? Well, absolutely not. What it really means is that you first invest time in learning things properly, just like you did now, and then use AI to speed up your work. When something breaks or when AI gets confused, you know exactly where the problem is and how to fix it. Because of those 3 hours that you spent learning, this is exactly how AI will shape the way you learn and build your career. And you experience that today. Now let's get back to coding and dive deeper into learning even more concepts of the PERN stack. And then later in the course, we'll come back to Refine and see whether it can develop all of the other functionalities of our class management dashboard.